What is good, y'all? Nick Murray, the game of numbers. We going into part 2, behavior. Last time we went over belief and how we can build our belief system to impact our behavior. And then in this segment, we'll be going into how our behavior can help us and makes it easier for us to invest in our goals and invest in our future selves, as well as it makes the idea of getting told no much less daunting, because if it's our behavior to accept this and move on with this, it makes it much easier for us to hear no, and it also makes it much more likely to put ourselves out there to hear a yes. And we only need a few yeses within our lives to impact it greatly. And so I'll be going into using the words of Nick Murray, how to allow for our behavior to best get out of our own way, and as well as to appreciate what we do. As the first thing is, you are what you do. He was telling them that their technical competence could only take them so far, and that they would need to transcend it if they were to become true artists. You gotta have your own secret skill, and that only comes with being authentic. That only becomes by believing that we're truly capable, we're truly competent, and able to accomplish whatever our goals may be. All chronic production issues are behavior issues. So when we're not accomplishing things that we want to do, if we're not meeting goals that we want, that's directly correlated to our behavior. And more than likely, that's because we don't truly believe, we don't have a real confidence. We might have a fake confidence, but we don't have a true belief, true confidence that we will be able to accomplish what we're trying to do. And getting this confidence comes with first behavior, or first believing we can do it, but then secondly, actually behaving in that way, and doing the action so much that it's second nature. So in the back of your mind, you truly do feel confident because your behavior has reflected this in the past. After belief, behavior is all that matters. You will not learn your way to the top of this profession, nor will you think your way to the top. You will behave your way to where you want to go, or you will not get there. Or you will not get there. And it's just daily actions of behaving your way to the top, behaving your way to where you want to be. And this isn't easy. This comes with trials, this comes with tribulations. But if you continue to stack days, eventually, like it references later in the chapter, in the part 2, this will become sustainable, as if this is the only way you know how to live now, because you believe something so much and then you behave something. So after you do these two things, as long as you're within your nature, the rest will line itself up, which is quite interesting. And we don't realize that at first because it's so daunting, or it's so different from what we're used to. But in reality, if we're working within our nature, these doors and these obstacles will either break down, or we'll be able to get over the hump. And so you won't find yourself in such dead ends. Like if you think, oh, I've been doing this for so long, I've been trying so hard, it's like, maybe that's not within your nature. Maybe that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe you're trying to make something happen that's really not what you're supposed to be doing. We count legitimate attempts to start a business conversation. We keep score by inputs, not outcome. So it's, again, that idea of hearing no and yes. So let's say we're in a position to hear no 15 times, and we hear no all 15 times. We still count that as a legitimate attempt or as a success because we were in the position to hear no 15 times. If we were in the position to hear no 15 times, then we were also in the position to hear it yes 15 times, which we don't take account of. It's like, if we're not putting ourselves in a position to hear yes or no, then we're just staying on the sideline. But if we hear no, that's way better than hearing nothing at all. But in our minds, we're so scared to hear no, we're so scared to fail, that we'd rather just sit there. We'd rather just be sitting there like a bot and just on the sidelines, chilling. And that's, again, if we relate back to meditations, my last review, my last two reviews ago, it was stagnation is evil. And if stagnation is evil, then what is avoidance? Again, avoidance is something that we talk about heavily in this book, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but avoidance is the idea of putting things that don't matter before things that do, because you're scared for the things that do matter that you'll fail. And we do this all the time. I gave in my last short, I was talking about basketball, like when people just dribble. And it's that same concept of in life, of like you're going back and forth in the office on ideas. You're just dribbling. You're just passing it back and forth to everybody in the office, rather than somebody just being like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to move on with that. And we're going to take that idea and run with it. Because it's like we're insecure. We're scared of our ability. We're scared of our competence. But in reality, if we do the action, we're already ahead of the game. We're already ahead of people who are just sitting on their hands and not doing nothing. And people want to see that. People want to see courage, and that's what it takes. We'll get into that a little bit later when I got something on that in my notes. A lot of busy work that goes nowhere, but whose attraction is that it saves you from the cruel necessity of genuine prospecting. So that's what I'm just saying, that avoidance. But may even be a manifestation of avoidance. A lot of busy work that goes nowhere, but whose attraction is that it saves you from the cruel necessity of genuine prospecting. That genuine prospecting is that idea that you're gonna hear no, that idea of failure. And we all do this, because it's like, it seems like it's gonna be way harder, or it's gonna hurt way more to fail than it is to just kind of sit there and be comfortable. And it references later in this chapter how comfortability is like the shark is like lurking around you. It's lurking around you, waiting for you to just lay there and not move so it can just come and snatch you. And then avoidance has its hands on you. And it's so hard once it has its hands on you to like get out of its claws, because it takes such change in our actions that it's easier to try to correct our actions before we get to that point. And so that's because we've all been there. We've all been to the point of avoidance, like where we don't want to do something, whether that was in school, whether that was in life, whether that was with your friends, whether that was in a relationship. You don't have a conversation because it makes you feel uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, you just have that conversation, because the worst that can happen if you do the action is that you'll hear no. And we know that if we hearing no is okay, like perfectly okay, because we are in the situation to where we could have also heard yes. Oh, there I go. Oh yeah, perfect. Nice. And since risking no is the only way under heaven ever to hear yes, you have done all you can sanely by be asked to do, except to do it again now. Since risking no is the only way under heaven ever to hear yes. So it's literally within the law of, this book is called The Game of Numbers. And if we think about it, what I've opened up is, it's really all a game of numbers. It's all a game of percentages. If you go out and say, hear no so many times, it's literally impossible. I mean, it's not impossible if you're doing some BS, but it's almost impossible for everybody to say no. You will hear yes eventually. And once you hear one yes, if you were doing your job, if you were doing it correctly, if you're doing it well, that people refer you, then these doors start to open up where it's genuine connections. And so the prospecting gets done for you. Your prospecting gets done for you. You are putting out such a good product that they have no choice but to take you up on the opportunity. Let me find it. They said your value is only in question so long as your ability is in question. So if you were that much better, if you have that, give that many more results out in your field, then your value will not be in question anymore. And once your value is not in question, it's so much easier to try and relax, which again, we do not want to do. We want to keep gaining. We want to not let stagnation, not let avoidance get the best of us ever. Almost every prospect may say no to you, but not quite everyone. You only need a few. That's what we don't realize. Like, we just take so many chances to where a couple of them hit. We only need those 2 to change our lives. We only need those 3 to change our lives. So we just gotta keep knocking doors, keep going. Success is inevitable. You just have to get enough people to say no to you. Because once all them people say no to you, they say yes. Eventually someone's gonna say yes. And then after this, it starts talking about how does the doctor feel rejected? Of course not. He gave the guy his best medical opinion. Indeed, talked about things that may save his life, or at least prevent it is ending premature. And the patient chose to ignore him. So if people in your life, you give them advice, you try to help them out, and they ignore you, what does the doctor say? Next patient, please. Next patient, please. This is to say the very least cannot be your problem unless you invest it with an emotional power over you, with which it can never intrinsically have. Jeez. There is no matter how often you hear it, only one healthy response to no. Next patient, please. So you get told no. Okay, next up, what we doing next? I'm still here. I'm right here. I'm ready to get active regardless. So we gotta just remember this, keep this mentality, and it obviously is gonna be harder to keep this mentality, but if you take the daily steps and you see how this can change your life, those small wins are gonna feel so massive compared to all the weak no's, the people that are here that doubt you, or people that don't understand where you're trying to go. And it makes you think like the people that say yes are the people you want around, because they see you, they understand you, they want you to do your best, and they want you to help them do their best, because it's going to be a two-way relationship. You don't want one-way relationship. You don't want you just to be helping somebody or someone just to be helping you. It's like you want to build a strong connection that is built on trust and the fact that you both have mutual looks for each other. We know that we can build a hugely successful career on the few who agree to talk seriously with us. You just need to get in the door. Very simple. Once you get in the door, if you perform it at a high clip, if your value is so high that you cannot be denied, then it's impossible for you not to win, not to succeed. It's inevitable. Like they say, it's inevitable, because you're going to keep doing it until it happens. If you keep doing something till it happens, then in what way is that not inevitable? Because it's going to happen, because you're going to keep doing it. You're not going to allow yourself to stop. You're not going to let avoidance, you're not going to let stagnation beat you. You're going to keep going regardless. It's very and just giving yourself that much control over your life is just beautiful. It makes you feel so empowered, and then that's where you gain this confidence that no means nothing. Next patient, please. Next patient, please. Because eventually you know that one of those patients is going to take you seriously, and y'all both going to eat off of that. Y'all both going to eat. It's very simple. The problem with the emotional paradigm is that if we invest other people with the power to approve of us, we will give them the power to disapprove of us. If we give other people, the people that say no, the power to make us think we're less than, or even the people that say yes, the power to think that, oh, now we're something different. It's like, no, we're still the same, because we're built on stuff that we can trust. We're built on power. We're built on our own self-sustainability. We've built this up, so it's impossible for us to let others break it down. All chronic production issues are behavior issues. The jellyfish aren't real, no matter how hard avoidance tries to convince you that they are. The demons that we're facing are not real, so we just got to keep going. Those are things that avoidance is trying to linger, stagnation is trying to linger, that evil is trying to get in us. But pause. That evil is trying to get to us is very real life. We be feeling that. I be feeling that some days. The evil's right there. But then I just get your daily deposit and get whatever you got to get going, and you'll eventually feel like so much better. It's that like expression of like, you don't want to work out, and then you go work out, and it's like, oh, I feel so cool, like I feel so jacked, blah blah blah. But in reality, like, that's with anything. That's with our mind, that could be with our body, it could be with relationships, making sure that people are all right in our circle. But eventually, if you do these positive things, these things that allow for you to feel genuine, like you have a genuine purpose in this life, then you will get out of the stagnation. But if you just soak in it every day and it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, my purpose, like, I don't know, like, you gotta just find it. And the only way to find it is by doing. But you have to first process that you believe this, that you believe that you can go accomplish something, because anybody else can. So what's stopping you besides your mindset? That's what I had to realize. Like, what's stopping me besides my mindset? Like, why would I ever put limitations on myself? If I know that I put in the work, why would I ever put limitations on myself? It doesn't make sense. And that's with everything. Because I know that if I continue to act within my nature, it's inevitable I will succeed. It's inevitable I'll get to where I want to be. As long as I put in the work, as long as I don't let stagnation and avoidance get to me, as long as I do those things, take those steps daily, stack on my days. If you stack on your days, the same thing will happen. But this isn't going to happen because you and I aren't going to let it happen. When avoidance can do that, what's the best way to hear the maximum amount of yes with the minimum amount incidence of no? That's what avoidance is, and that's so prevalent in our society today. Everybody wants to hear yes, 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 yes. Nobody wants to hear no. Nobody wants to have discipline. Nobody wants to have accountability. And so people just run away. People just avoid. And that's why this is such a crazy, stackable, applicable concept to our daily society. Because avoidance is everything. Avoidance is quick dopamine. Avoidance is social media, just scrolling. That's what avoidance is. It literally is. We've been so programmed and designed to just avoid that it's kind of sick. It's kind of sickening. I can't lie. Now that I'm like putting it like that, this was all by design. But this isn't going to happen because you and I aren't going to let it happen. Never let avoidance win. Continue to fight the good fight until the success you want is fulfilled. And because it is inevitable if we keep going. Next, the method doesn't particularly matter. The glorious law of large numbers, any prospecting method will work if you work it, and won't work if you don't. As long as you are absolutely sure of that, not intellectually, because behavior isn't driven by the intellect, but emotionally and even spiritually. Deep in your warrior soul, the shark can't get you. The shark, like, we have to just do our method, whatever your methodology is. If you just continually stay with that, then you will succeed. It's like, as long as you have a belief system that is within your nature, that is a net positive for the universe, you will succeed in this nature and you will feel fulfilled. That's why there's people that have unlimited money, but they're not feeling fulfilled because they're not moving within their nature. They may be moving within the universe. They might be making a bag. They might be doing something that they know is going to line their pocket, so they felt fulfilled that way. They thought they were going to feel fulfilled that way, but in reality, deep down in their core, they're not feeling well. They're feeling stagnant. They're letting that evil get to them. And it's one of those things where it's like there's got to be people on both sides of the coin, I would think. That's just how anything is. But I just would wonder how much that's risen, how much that stress has risen lately as we've seen just avoidance become so popular. It matters not how slowly you go. It matters only that you do not stop. It matters not how slowly you go. It matters only that you do not stop. If we just keep going, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Does this make him wrong and me right? No, of course not. It's not just another one of those aforementioned trade-offs. All it does is make him who he is and me who I am. You have to be who you are. Am I like... Because this whole issue, like all how to matters, puts me to sleep. How to can never be the threshold question. The threshold question, and this book's entire reason for being, is how do you not stop? Again, it doesn't matter if you are doing stuff every once in a while as compared to if you just continue to stack incremental days every single day within your nature, within your purpose. You will be so much more successful than if you have 1 or 2 days of like, oh, I'm gonna decide to get everything done or live in my purpose for 2 days. That's not realistic. You have to maintain realistic goals, expectations that come with belief. And something that's realistic to me, or something that's realistic to y'all, might not be realistic to me. But something that's realistic to me might not be realistic to y'all, because we're all within our own nature. So finding what our nature is and just believing that, it doesn't matter. The comparison is dead. That's weak. Like, you don't want to be doing that. That doesn't do anything for us. We want to continue to just stack days within our own nature. I can't tell you what your goals should be, nor what level of activity is necessary for their achievement. You are an adult. Your practice is going to be your art of work, as unique as you are. It's not on anybody else to help you or to tell you. They can guide you. You can get guidance. You can get mentorship, and that's beautiful. That's something that should happen. That's something that you should seek, because it makes it easier. It streamlines the process. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to do that yourself. Nobody can wake up in your boots and put your shoes on and wake up early in the morning to get extra prospecting calls in or to get extra workouts in. Nobody can do that except for you. It doesn't matter if you have the best trainers in the world, they can't help you with that. It's just on you. If you want to be there early, if you want to act like a professional in whatever environment you're in, that's on you. They can give you the tools, but they cannot give you the ability or the wherewithal or the want or the drive or the passion. And I think that fake hype of like, yeah, blah, 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 yeah, we gonna do this, or you see all them like them door-to-door salesmen like doing all the like, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, that's cool. I'm sure it works for them because they truly believe that. And again, that's the methodology. That's something that they maybe truly believe. But for us, or for somebody that's not doing that, you might be like, oh, that's whatever. Like, I don't know what that is. But as long as they truly believe that, the methodology doesn't work. So you can't even hate the hustle. You can't even hate the game. But again, is that something that's sustainable, or is that something that is built on quick money? I have no idea. Don't ask me. I'm not no professional. I have no idea. I'm just asking the questions. And man, if you don't immediately think these things matter, demonstrate that we do exactly what we promised we would do, and what was the very first thing we originally offered. Of course, to sit with him. So in reality, if you offer somebody something, if you want to build relationships with people, you must offer them some value that is not just money or fiscal, but it's also emotional. You want to become friends. You want to enjoy these people. You want to respect these people. The main thing is trust and respect. You want to trust and respect these people that you're working with, so you can continue to build relationships with people you trust and respect. And again, one of my favorite sayings from this book was, some of the best business is the business that you decide not to do. Because it's like so self-explanatory. It just makes so much sense. When you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is stop digging. Yes, you want to prospect and you want them to become an account, but you don't want to take on the captaincy of a sinking ship. So if you see problems that you you have an issue with, the first thing you want to do is to evaluate, is this going to be positive for me? Is there going to be a net positive, or is this too far gone? Is this a sinking ship that's going to fail? And remember this consistently. Keep checking back, like, how, if this is a sinking ship, is this one that I can patch up, or is this one is gone for good? Because I feel like a lot of times, especially now, there's a lot of things that we could pack up if we really wanted to. We could patch up, but we just think, oh, it's a sinking ship, I'm just going to jump to the next one, jump to the next one, jump to the next one. And sometimes the other ship that you think is perfect is sinking too. It's almost worse under the surface. Man, all technique is, so I'm the last guy in the world who would conceptually knock the scripts, just as long as you understand that is not the script, but your joyous, ceaseless repetition of the script that makes you successful. So it's not about exactly what script you follow. It's just the fact that you come every day with a positive attitude, ready to get better, ready to learn, ready to evaluate and self-reflect and grow. And you love this ability to grow. You appreciate that you've been given the opportunities to grow, rather than thinking, oh, I have to. Like, it's not, you get to grow. You are able to grow. You are blessed to grow. All technique is like that, by the way. It supports you while you are learning to believe in and trust yourself, so that you can then dispense with it. Technique is what you do while you are waiting for your genuine self and your external persona to fuse and become one. Because this is, again, just perfectly stated, because you get confidence, you get the ability to have a real confidence and faith in yourself once you've seen the work that you put in and your belief system combined. This is how behavior just gets scaled 10 times, even more and more and more, because once you have your behavior and your belief and you start to see progress, this progress will fulfill you so much more than the no's you've heard in the past, that you will just continue to want to grow and be better and just appreciate the opportunities that are given to you. Prospecting takes courage, always has, always will. No matter how habituated to it you become, and no matter how you grow to even enjoy it. If you hear these no's all the time, eventually you're going to build up an armor. That's going to be part of your armor. And so it'll be something where you're able to almost enjoy the no, because you know it's coming to the next yes that you're going to get. And once you get to this state, this is how you know that you just really accomplished something and you've overcome a fear or an avoidance. But at the same time, you do not want to be stagnant. You don't want to fall into this evil trapping where you're not improving, or you're not being able to aid those around you, and you're just focused on, oh, I made it to where I wanted to be, and having no idea what's next. Because if you're close to making it to where you want to be, you should probably already have your goals set out for what's next, because you've lived in your nature, so you're able to somewhat hope for the future, because you know that that's what the nature's aligning with you with. Obviously you don't know exactly what it is, but you can plan out for, if I'm able to do this, then I can accomplish this. And then I leave you with Aristotle's essential observation about courage. Courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality that guarantees all the others. Courage is the first of human qualities because it's the quality that guarantees all the others. If you are able to have the courage to put in the daily deposits and fight avoidance whenever stagnation is lingering, we know stagnation is evil because we already learned that in meditations. This is the same as avoidance. So if we're having avoidance daily, then we're going to continue to struggle. We're going to continue to fall to the evil, fall to our demons. But once our beliefs shift, it has a direct impact on our daily behaviors And this is something we must continuously check in all the time, but will become easier as our life progresses and as your purpose becomes more clear. That's what my notes was for the end of the book. I'm not gonna lie, or for the end of the chapter, you feel me? But I appreciate y'all so much. Man, we in downtown right now, Portland, getting the car worked on. So I just thought I would record this video for y'all, or for myself, for real. Like, man, this has just been so eye-opening for me, as I've learned so much already. And I've only read, I've read more than 2 books, but like, since I started recording the books on the channel, I've read 2 extremely insightful books so far, 1.75. But regardless, I appreciate y'all so much. We're gonna keep stacking concepts, keep stacking days. I don't know who else be doing these like reviews like this. I don't know, but I just appreciate y'all so much. I hope y'all found something insightful from this. And man, it's just a beautiful day. I hope y'all are getting y'all daily work in, daily deposits. I said this again, but man, yeah, like, sub, comment. We gonna keep coming back every single day, every single week with more in-depth reviews and shorts. So make sure y'all tap into those. I got like 120 shorts up right now on meditations and the game of numbers. But yeah, that's about it. I think I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Y'all just like, sub, comment, bow.